Hello again, everybody. Mobius1 here, starting the real Knights of the Old Republic Let's Play. So, I've taken into account everything that you guys have said, also the private messages I've received, as well as the conversations I've had with people in both Steam and in-game, and the consensus is most people want to see a lightsaber-heavy combat character, as opposed to a force wielder. So because of that, we're going to go with Soldier, even though a lot of people said go with Scout. For a lightsaber heavy combat character, Soldier really is better tailored for that, particularly because you get the heavy armor feat right off the start, so that actually saves you quite a bit of leveling. No, I don't want to say leveling. It saves you a lot of headache. We'll just say that. Do a custom character. I'm going to go with the face that I usually go with again. Go with this guy. Attributes, since I am going to be a melee character, I'm going to kind of put a lot of points into strength. Since I know I'm going to be wearing heavy armor, I know I'm not going to be able to, once I get into the later levels, I'm not going to be able to have a dexterity bonus at all. That being said, I don't want to have a -1 dexterity modifier, because the dexterity modifier is directly related to your defense stat. So I know I want to have at least, I want to have a 0. I mean, it would be nice to have a +1 or a +2, but heavy armor actually limits your dexterity modifier, and like I said, towards the end of the game, the armor that I'm going to be wearing is going to be so heavy that my max dex bonus is going to be 0 anyway, so I might as well save those points now. And you know, if I'm going to be up close in fighting and melee combat, I'm going to need a lot of health. So probably we'll stick with 14 Constitution. 16 would be nice, but I want to use those points in Intelligence, because as a soldier, I'm not going to be getting as many skill points per level as I would another class, but your intelligence modifier is added to the number of skill points you get every time you level up. So with a 14 intelligence, I'm going to get 2 more than I would normally, which will help us out a little bit. Wisdom is really not going to be all that important, but again, I don't want to have a -1 modifier. I'd rather just stick with 0. And Charisma, we'll go with a +1, because we're going to be getting some persuasive skills. So having that +1 modifier will help with that. So this looks good to me. Let me just see. If I did decide to go with the -1 wisdom, no, I still couldn't even get 16 intelligence. But you know what? I am going to do that anyway, because then when I get my first level up, I can put another point into intelligence and get... No, you know what? We'll do it this way. That way I can get 16 Constitution as soon as I level up. Cool. Alright, we'll go with this. Skills. So let's see. There's actually two different types of skills depending on what class you pick. And you'll notice when I highlight these, they'll either say cross-class skill or class skill. And these are important because a class skill can be maxed at whatever your level is +3. So obviously, since I'm level 1, a class skill would be level 1 +3. So 4 points is my cap. A cross-class skill level cap is whatever your level is +1. Also, you'll see if I have 12 points to spend. Every time I put a point into a class skill, my point goes down, or total points goes down by 1. But every time you put a point into a cross-class skill, it goes down by 2. So you can specialize in skills that are cross-class, and we're actually going to be doing that with Persuade here. I'm actually going to max this out, because eventually Persuade will become a class skill once we become a Jedi. But for now, we're going to want Persuade, we're going to want to max Treat Injury, and Awareness. And the only thing... See, I would like to get Computer Use, but we're going to have Companions, particularly the well, I don't want to say any spoilers, but we're gonna have companions that are gonna be better at a lot of these skills than my player character is anyway. So we're gonna go with this because awareness, persuade, and treat injury are all going to be pretty important. So we'll go with that. Feats, like I said, as a soldier, we get the armor proficiency heavy right off the bat, which is going to help us tremendously. We get melee weapons, blaster rifle, blaster pistol, power blast, power attack. So, alright. One thing we're going to need right away... See, we kind of have to decide. So here's the only question I have left for you guys. It can either go with 2-weapon fighting, which is basically dual wielding. Conversely, we can go with dueling. Now be careful when you comment that you get the spelling correct. If you want to say dual weapons or dueling weapons, dual wielding would be D-U-A-L. Does it say dual wield anywhere on here? No. So basically one in each, so just say two weapons. This is 2-weapon fighting versus you get a +1 attack and +1 defense bonus for only using a single melee weapon. I can do either of these. If you look at it from an MMO perspective, the dueling, the single weapon skills, these are really more for like a tank, because once you get up to the 3rd one, you're getting a +3 defense bonus, whereas the 2-weapon fighting is more of like a DPS role. So again, I can do either. For my first feat, I'm going to go ahead and choose Flurry, which is a special attack that we're going to use as a melee character that lets us attack twice per round. Which is really awesome. So we're going to go with that. Name, we already know what the name is going to be. Mobius. Okay. And play. Here we go.
We've been ambushed by a Sith battle fleet. The Endar Spire is under attack. Hurry up, we don't have much time.
Alright, so here's how you do dialogue options in the game. Basically, you just left-click what you want to say. So we have Who Are You? Or the Endar Spire. I'm going to say Who Are You?
I'm Trask Ulgo, ensign with the Republic fleet. I'm your bunkmate here on the Endar Spire. We work opposite shifts. I guess that's why you haven't seen me before. Now hurry up! We have to find Bastila. We have to make sure she makes it off the ship alive.
Who's Bastila?
Bastila is the commanding officer on the Endar Spire. Well, not an officer, really. But she's the one in charge of this mission. One of our primary duties is to guarantee her survival in the event of an enemy attack. You swore an oath just like everyone else on this mission. Now it's time to make good on that oath. I've heard all about your reputation. Elite combat training, tops in your class. It's no wonder you were handpicked for this mission. Word is the officers haven't seen a recruit with your kind of potential in 20 years. But all that potential doesn't mean a thing if you can't deliver when it counts. We're soldiers. We're trained for combat. Bastila is going to need men and women like us at her side during this attack.
So, here's the other thing you guys are going to have to still comment on, whether you want me to play a light side or dark side character. It's another thing that I can go either way on. I usually lean more towards the light side whenever I play a role-playing game, but I've done both, and I don't prefer one over the other necessarily. I'm going to continue this first episode just playing along, but if you guys want me to be evil, let me know.
So hurry up and grab your gear. You need to suit up so we can get out of here.
Okay. Alright. I'm in my undies. That ass. Alright, so in the box, we got an adrenal, a blaster rifle, a short sword, holy, clothing, and 2 med packs. So, we're going to put the clothing on. And we're going to equip the short sword. So here we could see, actually I might go with the blaster rifle. We can see what the damages the weapons do. So for example, the short sword does physical damage 1 to 6, which is basically a D6 for those of you that are D&D familiar, whereas the blaster rifle deals energy damage 1 to 8, so a D8. It also has a range of 28 meters. Critical threat, it says 19 to 20 times 2. So when you make an attack in Dungeons & Dragons or any D20 system, when you want to attack and target, you roll a 20-sided die. The number on that die, along with some modifiers, determines whether or not you hit your target. What a critical threat means is if you roll, in this case with the blaster rifle, a 19 or a 20 on that 20-sided die, you have a chance, you basically score a critical, or I'm trying to keep it as basic as I can. You basically have a chance of getting a critical hit. At that point, you have to roll another attack, and if you hit the second time, then it's a critical hit. And in this case, the ×2 means if you do succeed that second attack roll and you do get a critical hit, you do 2 times as much damage. So 19 to 20 is pretty good. You'll notice the short sword's critical threat is just 20 to 20, so you need to roll a 20 with the sword in order to get a critical. Balance +2/+0 if you're using 2 weapons. Alright, so yeah, so since the blaster rifle does more damage, we're going to start off using this. You will notice the blaster rifle, this is basically all your equipment. You have your clothing, you have a belt, you have your primary hand, your offhand, you have your left arm, right arm, your gloves, head, and implant. Alright, so you'll notice the blaster rifle actually takes up both hands, where if I did equip the short sword, I would then be able to equip a second weapon in my offhand. So here's what we look like with the sword. Very nice. And with the blaster rifle. Actually looks pretty cool. So let's go.
Okay, let's move out. We should stick together. You'll have more success with a party than on your own.
Okay. So here's your party select screen. You're allowed to have 2 companions with you at a time, though obviously Trask is the only party member we have now, so we're just going to click OK.
Because of the attack, this room is in lockdown, but don't worry, I've got the override codes. You'll have to use me to unlock the door.
Okay. So I hit the tab key to switch to him. So this is what I was talking about having, about having characters in your party that, whoa.
Yes?
These controls are not the way I want them to be. I'm gonna have to fix that real quick. Hold on. It's much better. Alright. So yeah, so it doesn't really matter necessarily what skills my player character has, because eventually...
Now that the door's open, you better take the lead again.
Eventually I will have companion characters that will specialize in certain things.
This is KOTOR. The Sith are threatening to overrun our position. We can't hold out long against their firepower. All hands to the bridge!
That was Karth contacting us on our portable communicators. He's one of the Republic's best pilots. He's seen more combat than the rest of the Endar Spire's crew put together. If he says things are bad, you better believe it. We have to get to the bridge to help defend Bastila. There's a map of the Endar Spire and a copy of Karth's message in your electronic journal, just in case we get separated.
Alright. So you have a journal that's very similar to, like a quest log in an MMO, Attack on the Endar Spire. You receive a message from KOTOR, a highly respected Republic soldier. He's ordered all hands to the bridge to protect Bastila. So, off we go. A lot of the time you'll be able to interact with things to recover items. This volume's actually still pretty loud. Okay.
That door's locked. I don't have the codes to open it, but switch me to the party leader so you can use my security skills to slice into the access panel and open the door.
Okay. So basically, this is kind of like a tutorial. So by switching to him, when I look at this door now, I get the security option. So since Trask has the... Where's the skills? He's got the security skill. He's got a rank of 3 plus a +2 bonus, so he has a total rank of 5 in security, compared to my character, which only has 2. Oh wait, that's computer use. Security. He's got 0. So, obviously, since my character has 0 security, I cannot open this locked door. But since he has 5, he can open it.
These Sith must be the advanced boarding party for the Republic!
Alright, so every time you get into a fight, and you can disable this, but I like to keep it on, the game actually pauses. So you can pause the game at any time. The combat in this game is actually turn-based, but it flows smoothly so that it looks more like an action game. So what I can actually do is kind of like Star Wars Galaxies. I can queue up different abilities to use, and you get at the bottom of your screen like a little action queue or a combat queue, and then unpause the game, and your character will perform those actions whenever it's their turn. Alright, so that actually wasn't bad. We get a repair kit off of those remains. We can loot this guy's body. Got 9 credits and a grenade. Not bad. Got another door. Oh, got some guys in here. So the game paused automatically when those guys came up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to queue up 2 attacks on this guy, and then 2 attacks on this guy, and we'll see what happens. So the first guy took some damage, and it looks like I missed the second time. But Trask and I ultimately killed the second one, and there he goes down. So if you don't queue up any abilities, or you don't tell your character what abilities to use, they'll use the default attack whenever it's their turn. Also, you can set scripts to have your companion characters do different types of abilities, such as supporting abilities, so if you want them to always use med packs whenever they can, that sort of thing. So I think right now Trask is on just a default one, so he'll just attack. Alright, I did just loot a combat suit. So a combat suit is light armor, gives you a defense bonus of 4, but has a max dexterity bonus of +5. This is what I was talking about in the character creation. What this basically means is while wearing this combat suit, if your dexterity bonus is more than +5, it's going to cap at +5, and that's because this is light armor. Eventually, like I said, once we get heavy armor, it'll have like a defense bonus of more than 10, which is ridiculous, but a max dexterity bonus of 0. So that's why we didn't put any points into dexterity. But I'm going to go ahead and put this on now because I would like that +4 defense bonus. Alright. And let's continue on. He just killed his own dude. Alright. I'm gonna use a grenade. Go grenade! That was nice. Oh, come on. Nice. Synchronized kill. See if there's anything we can loot. We got some remains here. Repair kit. Got lots of remains over here to loot. Med pack. Med pack and another frag grenade. Plus a parts pile. Has some spare parts in it.
It's a Dark Jedi! This fight is too much for us! We better stay back! All we do is get in the way!
Good job, Jedi. Oh.
That was one of the Jedi accompanying Bastila. Damn, they could have used her help!
Sith soldiers! Oh, that one just healed himself. Oh wow, I just realized I'm almost dead. So yeah, I need to change this UI. Hold on one second. There we go. I actually had to lower the resolution a little bit. And let me know if this is bothering anybody, but there, look, it's so much easier to read that now. And you can actually see my health now is this bar down here next to my portrait, which you probably couldn't even see before. But now I know, and since he's holding his side... Oh, I can loot the Jedi? Vibration cell. We'll use that later on. I'm gonna have to use a med pack here. Here we go. I healed myself for 10, which took me back to full health.
The bridge is just beyond that door. You better equip your melee weapon. There isn't much room on the bridge, and it's suicide to use a blaster in close quarters. I should equip a melee weapon, too. Either that or I'll have to stay back and use my blaster.
Okay. Easy enough. I can do that. So we have a long sword. Ooh, that does 1 to 12. Or 2 short swords. I'm going to go with the long sword, because using 2 weapons right now is dangerous. If you use 2 weapons without the 2-weapon fighting feat, you suffer some pretty extreme attack penalties, and I don't want to do that. Not yet. So here we go, we have some melee combat. Nice.
Bastila's not here on the bridge. They must have retreated to the escape pods. We better head that way, too. The Sith want Bastila alive, but once she's off the ship, there's nothing stopping them from blasting the Endar Spire into galactic dust.
Alright. Well, I actually just leveled up. Crap, I can't move. Alright, there we go. Man, I hope I'm taking care of all these bugs and glitches in this first episode. So the little level up, or the little L up icon over my portrait in the bottom left means that I've leveled up. There are a few different a few different perspectives on how to level in this game. Oh, you must level up before you pass through the door. Okay, we'll do that then. So level up, we get skills. So we only get the 2 points since our intelligence modifier is +2. That's all we can do right now. So, okay. And then we get to choose a feat. Oh, I wish I knew which one to go for. Either the dueling or the 2-weapon fighting. Please comment and let me know which you'd rather see. But for now, we're going to go with toughness. So what toughness does, this feat gives gives the character 1 extra vitality point every time they level up. This bonus is retroactive for levels previously gained. So what this does is basically every time we level up now, we get a bonus HP. The reason we're getting this is because since we're going to be in melee combat, this next one right here is very important. So once we get to level 4, we can get improved toughness, which subtracts 2 points from any damage suffered. So it's a permanent -2 damage buff, which is awesome. We're going to need that. Accept, close. Alright, here we go. Now we're level 2. We're just going to go until we get off this ship, and then I will cut the episode.
There's something behind here. Damn, another Dark Jedi! I'll try to hold him off. You get to the escape pods. Go!
No, Trask! No! I mean, okay.
This is KOTOR on your personal communicator. I'm tracking your position through the Endar Spire's life support systems. Bastila's escape pod is away. You're the last surviving crew member on the Endar Spire. Now, I can't wait for you much longer. You have to get to the escape pods.
Alright, so now we're pretty much on our own. This is where the tutorial pretty much comes full circle and says, alright, let's see if you learned enough to be able to do things on your own. That was pretty good. Let's hit him with another one of those. Oh, nice. Gotcha. And we're still at full health, too. Ooh, okay. We got 2 guys here. Oh, he's almost dead. He's got 1 health left. Gotcha. Oh, same thing with him. 1 HP left. Get him.
Careful.
Good.
There's a whole squad of Sith troopers on the other side of that door. You need to find some way to thin their numbers. You could reprogram the damaged assault droid to help you, if you have enough repair parts. Or you could use computer spikes to slice into the terminal and use the Endar Spire's security systems against the Sith.
I like both of those options. So, luckily in that footlocker there were both computer spikes and repair parts. We're going to go ahead and use the computer option. So, you're going to come across these computers a lot. Importantly, it tells you how many computer spikes we have, how many repair parts we have. I can view starboard transport module. So here's the camera feed from the next room, and you can see how many Sith troops are in there. So I can overload the power conduit for 5 spikes, which is all that I have, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. So let's watch what happens. And that took care of that problem. We actually gained 150 experience for that, so we still got XP, plus we got 75 XP for each kill. So we didn't lose any experience for not fighting them, because we still killed them. Oh, he's got a prototype vibroblade. Let's see how that compares to our long sword, which is 1 to 12. Crit threat 20 to 20. Prototype vibroblade is 1 to 10 with a +1 damage bonus, which really means it's 2 to 11 when you think about it. And a crit range of 19 to 20. We're going to go ahead and use that. Even though it has 1 less max damage, it has 1 more minimum damage, so it makes us more of a steady fighter. Plus, I believe this thing is upgradable, right? Special, upgradable, yes. We're actually going to be able to improve this thing's stats later on.
You've made it just in time. There's only one active escape pod left. Come on, we can hide out on the planet below.
Who are you?
I'm a soldier with the Republic, like you. We're the last 2 crew members left in the Endar Spire. Bastila's escape pod's already gone, so there's no reason for us to stick around here and get shot by the Sith. Now, come on. There'll be time for questions later.
Alright. Escape pod. This is the last escape pod and your only hope of survival. Use the escape pod.
Good to see you up instead of thrashing about in your sleep. You must have been having one hell of a nightmare. I was wondering if you were ever gonna wake up. I'm Karth, one of the Republic soldiers from the Endar Spire. I was with you in the escape pod. Do you remember?
Alright, let's see. I had a strange dream, like a vision or something. Right, I'm Mobius, by the way. How did we get here? Okay.
I've been slipping in and out of consciousness for a couple of days now, so I imagine you're pretty confused about things. Try not to worry. We're safe. At least for the moment. We're in an abandoned apartment on the planet of Terrace. We were banged up pretty bad when our escape pod crashed, but luckily I wasn't seriously hurt. I was able to drag you away from our crash site and all the confusion, and I stumbled into this abandoned apartment. By the time the Sith arrived on the scene, we were long gone.
The Sith, I guess I owe you my life. Thanks. Oh, so we're just going to wait here for the Republic to rescue us?
You don't have to thank me. I've never abandoned anyone on a mission, and I'm not about to start now. Besides, I'm gonna need your help. Terrace is under Sith control. Their fleet is orbiting the planet, they've declared martial law, and they've imposed a planet-wide quarantine. But I've been in worse spots. I saw on your service records that you understand a remarkable number of alien languages. That's pretty rare in a raw recruit. But it should come in handy while we're stranded on a foreign world. There is no way the Republic will be able to get anyone through the Sith blockade to help us. If we're gonna find Bastila and get off this planet, we can't rely on anybody but ourselves.
Why is it so important to find Bastila?
That smack to your head did more damage than I thought. Bastila's a Jedi. She was with the strike team that killed Darth Revan, Malak's Sith master. Bastila's the key to the whole Republic war effort. The Sith must have found out that she was on the Endar Spire and set an ambush for us in this system. I believe Bastila was on one of the escape pods that crashed down here in Terrace. For the sake of the Republic war effort, we have to try and find her.
Oh wow, here we go. How could one person, even a Jedi, be so important? If Bastila's a Jedi, she could probably look after herself. How do we even know that Bastila is still alive? Forget it! I'm not risking my life to try and save her. Any idea where we should start looking for Bastila? Just to get a little bit more story, we'll go with the first one. How can one person, even a Jedi, be so important?
Bastila is no ordinary Jedi. She has a rare gift the Jedi call battle meditation. Bastila's power can influence entire armies. Through the Force, Bastila can inspire her allies with confidence and make her enemies lose their will to fight. Often that's all it takes to tip the balance in a battle. Of course there are limits to what she can do, but from what I understand of her ability, it requires great concentration and focus to maintain her battle meditation. The attack on the Endar Spire happened so fast she never had a chance to use her battle meditation. Like us, she barely got out alive.
So what do you suggest we do next?
Bastila's gonna need our help. Many of Darth Malak's followers can use the dark side of the Force, and the Sith have already killed more than their share of Jedi in this war. Nobody will be looking for a couple of common soldiers like us, and if we're careful, we can move about the planet without attracting notice, a luxury Bastila won't have. She's gonna have half the Sith fleet looking for her. They know how important she is to the war effort. The whole planet is under quarantine. No ships can land or take off. So, if Bastila's gonna escape Terrace, she's gonna need our help, and we'll probably need hers.
Alright. Any idea where we should start looking for Bastila?
While you were out, I did some scouting around. There are reports of a couple of escape pods crashing down into the Undercity. It's probably a good place to start. But the Undercity's a dangerous place. We don't want to go there unprepared, and it won't do Bastila any good if we go and get ourselves killed.
Alright, the sooner we start looking for Bastila, the sooner we find her. Let's go.
Good idea. We can use this abandoned apartment as a base. We can probably get some equipment and supplies here in the upper city. Just remember to keep a low profile. I've heard some grim stories about the Dark Jedi interrogation techniques. They say the Force can do terrible things to a mind. It can wipe away your memories and destroy your very identity. But I figure if we don't do anything stupid, we should be okay. I mean, after all, they're looking for Bastila, not a couple of grunts like us. All right, soldier, let's move out.
Did anyone else who's already played through this game get chills at that last part there? I know I did. Alright, the rest of you who haven't played through this will know what I mean soon enough. But we're going to end this episode here. I hope we've done alright so far. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. Also, let me know if you want to see the one-hand, or the single weapon, or the two-weapon fighting, and whether or not you think I should go light side or dark side. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.